In 490 BC, on a vast plain stretching wide in Marathon, Greece, history was written with blood, courage, and brilliant strategy. On one side stood the mighty Persian Empire with its massive army, ready to subjugate the small but defiant Greece that dared to resist their power. On the other side, a small city-state led by Athens risked everything for the sake of freedom and the honor of their homeland. The Persian Empire under King Darius I, following the revolt in Ionia, decided to punish Greece for interfering in their affairs. With approximately 25,000 Persian soldiers aboard a grand fleet, they arrived on the shores of Marathon, confident that victory was inevitable. Athens, able to muster only 11,000 hoplites, heavily armed infantry equipped with long spears and round shields, faced an enemy far greater in number. There was no option to retreat. They would either fight with all their might or lose their freedom forever. Miltiades, the brilliant commander from Athens, understood that a conventional frontal assault would spell disaster for his forces. The Persian army was renowned for its vast numbers and the deadly precision of its archers. They boasted a feared cavalry and well-trained infantry. However, Miltiades recognized one critical weakness in his enemy. They were unaccustomed to close combat warfare involving the tightly packed and heavily armed formations of the Greek hoplites. Miltiades made a bold and tactical decision: to weaken the center of his forces while strengthening the left and right flanks. This was a highly risky move, as the center could easily be breached. However, his plan was to lure the enemy into a trap. As the battle began, the Persian army immediately concentrated their attack on the center of the Athenian forces. They saw this weakness as a golden opportunity to break the Greek line and sow chaos. Persian archers unleashed a relentless hail of arrows on the center, while their infantry advanced with full confidence. Herodotus recounts that the Greeks advanced at a run toward the enemy lines. Their goal was clear: to minimize the devastating impact of the Persian archers. While it is unlikely they ran the entire mile in their heavy hoplite armor, the Athenians likely quickened their pace into a jog as they reached within 150 yards. The effective range of the Persian bows. As the battle lines clashed, the Persian center, bolstered by their best troops, initially gained the upper hand. However, as planned, the Athenian center held just long enough for their right and left flanks to move into position. The Greek hoplites in the center not only avoided being overwhelmed, but gradually drew the Persian forces deeper into the battlefield. On both flanks, the reinforced Greek hoplites advanced with unwavering discipline. Their tightly packed formations, large shields forming a phalanx, and long spears that outranged the Persian weapons became a tremendous advantage. With steady, coordinated steps, they encircled the Persian forces from both the left and right. This strategy is known as the double envelopment, a tactical maneuver rarely executed successfully in that era. The Persian forces, trapped in the center, were now attacked from three directions: the front, left, and right. The Persian army, once renowned for its numbers, now found itself at the mercy of the Greeks' tight formations. The Athenians fought with fierce determination, their battle cries echoing across the battlefield. In contrast, the encircled Persian forces began to lose heart. Their army, dependent on the discipline of their loose formations, could not withstand the aggressive close-quarters assault of the Greek hoplites. Even worse, the Persian cavalry, which was supposed to be their main strength, failed to play its role. Some accounts suggest they arrived late to the battlefield, while other theories propose that they were unable to maneuver effectively in the narrow and hilly terrain. This inability to engage in the battle left the Persian forces even more vulnerable to the relentless Greek assault. After encircling the Persian forces, the Athenian army pressed harder, driving the enemy back toward the shoreline. Panicked, the Persian soldiers rushed towards their ships in an attempt to flee. But in the chaos, many were either slain by the hoplites or drowned in the sea as they scrambled to escape. At the end of the battle, around 6,400 Persian soldiers were dead, compared to just 192 on the Athenian side, an extraordinary and almost unbelievable victory. The news of this triumph was delivered to Athens by a messenger named Pheidippides, who ran relentlessly for 42 kilometers to bring the joyful news. In his extreme exhaustion, he managed to utter, "We win," before collapsing and dying, carving a legend that would become the foundation for the marathon race we know today.